I still find time to fish, but I'm on 3 different boards. I'm on the Chesapeake Bay Commission, I'm on the Fish and Boat Commission, and I'm on this Mid-Atlantic Fishery Management Council. And I've just decided to devote, I'm really worried about our waters, I'm really concerned, and I'm really concerned about our aquatic resources. I think they're at a greater risk than a lot of people realize. I think Pennsylvania's seeing it with this Marcellus shale. I'm very concerned about that, and I think that water all flows out the Susquehanna, it flows into the ocean. It's all connected, and I'm trying to be at the level where I can kind of connect the dots for people and try and do something to help protect those resources, and that's what it's all about for me.
I just think and getting involved with some of these organizations only confirms my belief. I think there's a lot of things that are happening to our water, transitioning, that we're not aware of. I'm convinced well, it's become fact now. There are pharmaceuticals, there are chemicals that are in our water that we're not even testing for at this point. They're beyond the capability of any filtration plant to filter it out. So they're continuing to go into our ecosystem. The fish's glands naturally absorb them. I mean, recently they did a study of smallmouth bass on the Potomac, and 8 out of the 10 male bass were trying to lay eggs. They are that genetically confused because of compounds and chemicals that are in the water. So I think it's the canary in the coal mine, so to speak, and I'm trying to make people more aware of that.
The organization's called the Mid-Atlantic Fishery Management Council, and it's essentially the body that kind of plans for the ocean and manages ocean resources for the area from New York to North Carolina. It's a 21-member board. Pennsylvania has 2 seats. One is an obligatory seat that is for the CEO of the Fish and Boat Commission, and then the other one is a citizen at large. The good thing is my vote counts as much as anybody else's. It's because of the Delaware River and the Delaware River emptying out into the Delaware Bay, so there actually is a lot of synergy because you have fish like shad, migratory fish that come in out of the ocean.
The states regulate it from 0 to 3 miles out. From 3 miles to 200 is the Mid-Atlantic. That's what we have authority over. For example, we do look at things like what size flounder can be kept, how many commercial pounds can be caught, what size nettings they use. All those kind of things are issues that we set the regulations for. It's part of NOAA. We're actually a division of NOAA. And we work with the state so that someone isn't confused and say, well, I can catch a flounder here, it can be 15 inches, but if I go across this line 3 miles out, it has to be 60. We avoid that and work very closely with the states. I hope to help protect aquatic resources. I mean, the story that was in your paper, and I've gotten a lot of comments about it, about the big windmills that are going out in the ocean. It's a good idea, I guess. It's green power. It's power that is very clean, but unfortunately, some of the areas where they want to locate these are monstrous structures, and some places where they want to put them are right on some of the best clam beds in the world, or on some of the best oyster beds, or where flounder and a fish called a monkfish are in those areas habitating. So we've got to be very careful and not jump too quick. Again, the perfect example for me is like Marcellus shale. I think we jump too quick at it. You got to be sure what you're doing to the environment, and we got to use common sense. You know, I'm not talking about being a wacko environmentalist, but I think if we don't protect our environment, if we don't protect our aquatic resources, now we're going to lose that opportunity to in the future. So as we move ahead, I just think we need to be very cautious about how we proceed. I've been asked about, you know, what are my views, and I tend to be a conservative Republican on economic issues, but on social issues I tend to be more moderate, and some of my friends come close to calling me a liberal on environmental issues. I'm very passionate about our environment, and I think in the Republican household, I think in the Democratic household, there's room to be all 3. We can care about people and we can care about our environment, and that's what I've chosen to do for the rest of my professional or volunteer life is to try and do something, leave a little bit of a legacy to have the environment better than what it is now, or as good as it can be. I have a picture of myself with a giant flounder. The flounder was about as big as I was when I was 5 years old. and it was caught on a 99-cent reel. My sisters love to tell me the story because they're older than I am. You know, everybody was like pulling the line in, getting it by hand, and that's when we used to go to New Jersey and fish a lot. And, you know, pardon the pun, but since then I've been hooked on fishing. I just love it. It's my favorite thing to do, my favorite pastime.
What is it about fishing? What do you like about it?
I think the time, the time by the water, the time to think, it really clears my head. I do some of my best thinking when I'm just out along the water. I mean, just like we are here today, and you can hear the water in the background and the falling water. It's just very therapeutic for me. I just love it.